στην Ομόνια.
And we call taxi, and with Kilian, I opened the door behind, I put him in the taxi, and I close the door, and I want to go inside, and Kilian go out there.
You're gonna get someone messaging you afterwards saying, "Why did you mention me?"
Hey, fuck them.
She say, I cry because you are here today.
And welcome to the No Chocolates podcast. This is something new that we're going to do it from time to time. Premier League review, because I know all of you in Cyprus love the Premier League. So I figure, why not? Let's do a podcast. And already we've got Grigori here. The time that you were waiting for, Malaga. You were waiting for this time. Out there. Let's get some comments in here. I've got Rhodri Giggs with me here. Giggs, what's going on?
What's happening? You all right?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. No complaints.
Have you recovered from your 92nd minute goal?
Mate, do you know what? I wasn't too upset about it. To be honest, you played the second string team. We've got a bigger game on Wednesday.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, it's a cup game. We've got a cup game on Wednesday. So it's 2 legs. So, yeah, that's our best chance of winning a trophy. In fact, it's our only chance of winning a trophy this season. So, yeah, I weren't too bothered about the. Okay, I was annoyed that we didn't win to concede the goal in the 93rd minute and against a team that had 10 men effectively because they had the player off injured and the way we conceded the goal. But it is what it is. You play the second string team. 2 of the central defenders have just come back from injury. A lot of youngsters being played. So positive, man. No problem. Unfortunately, them lot won yesterday. So, yeah. I love the fact that Rhodri's now he's not into Cyprus footy. He's only doing it to wind me up there. Fucking hell.
I always send him the pictures of the yellow and blue. But that's because, you know, stop the war in Ukraine. But he thinks it's... well.
This guy.
Yeah.
This fucking guy. Jesus Christ. Oh, you've been well. I saw you on the Views podcast yesterday with DJ Spoonie.
Yeah, it was good. Patrick, glad Patrick's found safe and sound. Big shout to Patrick. So, and Dan from kid from Burnley. So, yeah, it was a good one.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing and it seemed to flow very well. Semps was there with his cigar out. He didn't really seem that opinionated yesterday, mate. I thought he was just sitting on the fence there, but no, he just let it go. It was good.
Yeah, he was trying to be too. Obviously, being the host, he's being professional, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm. There's no such thing as being professional.
I probably said it all. I probably said it all, and he was just agreeing because I was on one yesterday. But
you calmed down then.
Yeah, I have calmed down. Yeah, it was a bit harsh on Harry Maguire. I'm looking at the bigger picture. It was a bit harsh.
I blocked you on Twitter with a yellow and blue, then realised it's the Ukraine flag. I don't even know who this is. I can't even see. When it's on Facebook, I can't even see who's made the comment. So it might be Roy, it might be Chris. It probably is Roy, to be honest. Is it Roy or is it Chris? Fuck no, it's one of them two anyway. But yeah, anyway. Well, look, we're going to talk about the Premier League. City have just kicked off against Crystal Palace. How do you think that one's going to go, given that Palace have got a chance of beating or doing the double overseas?
Yeah, well, we've talked about this before, haven't we? Palace seem to be City's bogey side. And it's not an easy place to go. And you'd expect them to win, but, you know, you wouldn't be that surprised if Palace come away with a result, a draw or whatever. Because like I say, it's weird when you have bogey teams, and Palace seem to be Cities.
I think every team has had a bogey team in the past. Remember Wimbledon back in the day? They were everyone's bogey team, going to Selhurst Park.
Wimbledon. We used to, for a period of time, Southampton was ours. You go through, there's little stages where you have bogey teams. Middlesbrough was at one point.
Ipswich.
Yeah, so it happens.
Yeah, that's right. Well, hopefully for the sake of the title race, it ends up in a draw. Not for the fact that I give a shit about City, but I think with it being so tight at this moment in time, you want to see a twist and a turn, don't you? Especially with Liverpool winning at the weekend, and they got a game in hand.
Yeah, they've got a big game on Wednesday. Hopefully they beat Arsenal, which I'm pretty sure they will do. But even though Arsenal are playing pretty well at the moment, but you still expect Liverpool with their strength. There's different levels, and I think Liverpool and City are on a different level at the minute, aren't they?
Mm. The thing is, when you look at Liverpool at the weekend, I know they beat Brighton 2-0. It wasn't as convincing as what you'd see on the on paper, so to speak. Like, Brighton had a few opportunities, but there was the goal from Luis Diaz, which gave Liverpool the lead. And what did you make of the goalkeeper, man? That was like Tony Schumacher.
Yeah, he kind of got away with it, didn't he? Schumacher, that was the PG version. Schumacher was assault.
Yeah, Battiston is still on the floor.
Yeah, it was thinking about it. Yeah, it was clumsy because he's kind of slapped him and kneed him at the same time. So he's got away with one. Because it could have, if it would have been a red, you'd have gone, fair enough.
Do you think Diaz knew much about the goal itself?
No.
Because when you
No. He's just obviously gone to see the ball, and as soon as he's headed the ball, he's obviously seen it, but he's probably seen that split second where he's tensed up, so that's probably saved him. But yeah, they're not pleasant, them ones. When someone comes for you and you're not even expecting it, they're not pleasant. They just whinge you or just take your breath away. Not pleasant, but he brave, got the goal, and then he went on to comfortably win, really.
I'll tell you that Diaz, he's a player, isn't he?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, Tottenham have missed out there.
Well, this is it. And the thing is, when you look at Liverpool, the options that they got, Firmino, Jota, even Origi to come off the bench, Diaz, Sane.
Not really had that strength, have they, in the past? So now they've got the strength in depth.
And defensively, they look all right. I know they play with a higher line this season, and they have been caught out a few times. I think they've been quite fortunate to get away with some results. But that being said, City haven't been great defensively either. Now that Diaz is out,
yeah, it's going to be when's City in Liverpool? When does that? When's that on the fixture list?
No, you're gonna have to,
because that's going to be a big game. That'll be a humdinger.
Is it at the Etihad?
At City, yeah.
Let's have a look. Let me get up here. Hang on.
It's in April, isn't it?
It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
It's one of them rearranged. Is it a rearranged one?
10th of April. 10th of April, apparently.
Yeah. So there's still a long way to go after that, but if City win, it's more or less over, isn't it?
Yeah, true. Can you see him dropping any points from now to the end of the season apart from Liverpool?
You can see him. This is a banana skin for him.
Hands on the attack now.
Yeah, this is a banana skin for him, but like I said last night, it was like a well-oiled machine now, Liverpool and City. They seem to be on a run like they were 2 years ago, and they didn't get beat then. So I can see them going on that similar kind of run. Will there be a slip-up? Yeah, I think there might be, but not too many by City. So if they make one slip-up, they won't make two.
Well, City are still in the FA Cup, so Liverpool. They're both in the Champions League.
Champions League. So they've all got games to go. That's what you want. And now, like we talk about Liverpool as strength in depth, they can mix it up.
Yeah, bro. If you look at both squads, who do you think's got the better
City.
depth?
Yeah,
you think?
Yeah. Because City have got, say, they lose one of their centre halves,
which they have.
Stones or Laporte can come in. If Van Dijk goes, they struggle. You've seen that last year. If Van Dijk plays like net last year, it would be a lot more closer, I think. But
what about other positions? Look at left back.
I think on the left side they've got Sterling, Grealish. Who they got? Mane, and who else? Probably Jota. So then on the right they've got Bernardo Silva. They've got Mahrez. They've got De Bruyne. They've got Rodri. They've got Fernandinho, Foden. Yeah, I think they're just a little bit touch stronger in depth, but the keepers are, you can't really pull the keepers apart. They're pretty similar, pretty equal in quality. Really good on the feet, rarely make mistakes. Left back, right back for City are strong. Same with Liverpool, but yes, I think City just by a touch, but Liverpool are not far behind now, especially with Jota and that Diaz now, who looks a real player.
Yeah, and I think in midfield, Liverpool might have the edge. I think if Thiago Alcantara was fit, then you could say
better than De Bruyne, Rodri, or Fernandinho and Foden.
And Gundogan. Yeah, but Foden's more of an attacking midfield. I'm talking like a central midfield combination. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool got Henderson. They've got I was going to say Ronaldo, but he's got
Fabinho, the little kid.
Milner can Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott, young kid, yeah.
So I don't know. I just think that I
think City have got the more dynamic players, though. You know, the more, who would you rather want to play against? You'd rather play against Liverpool's midfield than City's.
I don't know, man. It depends on the style of play.
I'm only saying that by the pure of De Bruyne.
Right.
De Bruyne is a really good player, and he stands out in that midfield.
Yeah. The thing is, what I will say about both teams is that they're not impenetrable. This is what I'm saying. If you look at the teams in the past, like Arsenal's back four, United's back four, they were very difficult. Practically, they were like a brick wall. But Liverpool and City, they've got mistakes in them. And I don't know whether it's because they play such a high line, or maybe because defenders aren't as good as what they used to be.
No, they're definitely open to counter attack. But when you've got the speed of Walker, he can get out of it. And same with Van Dijk. They're both speed merchants and quick, and they can defend on that high line. But yes, they're going to get caught out. You have to accept that when you're playing that kind of football. But it's just limiting the less chances as possible.
Yeah,
and they don't make many. Against us, we didn't get a sniff second half. Couldn't get the ball.
Well, they stepped up again, didn't they? I think
that's what these two teams can do. They've got different levels.
Yeah. Well, United still have to go to Anfield as well. So that's going to be a tricky one.
Yeah.
If it is anything
probably suits us better being away from home, to be honest.
Yeah, you think?
Yeah, just to get them on the counter attack, yeah.
Okay. Well, we've spoken about Liverpool and City. Let's talk about United then. Cristiano Ronaldo made history, scoring. Well, listen, according to the records, he's the highest goal scorer in world football with 807 goals, which is phenomenal. Hat-trick against Spurs, a player that was out of the City game through injury. I'm going to use that term loosely because I don't think anyone really knows what was wrong with him. That being said, what an opening goal. The second goal was just a poacher's finish, and the third, from a bloody corner. 152 corners United have had this season, 2 goals.
Some header, though. We've seen it multiple times with him. The first one, what's Dyer doing? Why would you let one of the greatest players just open it out and shoot? So all the goals could be prevented. The second one, which one was
Reguilon that was playing him onside, wasn't it?
Reguilon, yes, he's playing him offside, but the runner should still go with the runner and not let him run. But Reguilon should be up. So there's 2 mistakes there. And the third one, you shouldn't get a free header, especially Ronaldo, one of the best headers in the world football, getting a free header in the 6-yard box. Yeah, so all 3 goals can be prevented. It's poor defending, but you've got to give it to Ronaldo. That strike, the first one. It's just, and he's the problem, supposedly. He's a problem.
He's the problem, yeah.
Get him out, he's a problem.
How many goals you got this season? 16, 17 league goals?
19, 18. Fucking 12th if we didn't have Ronaldo. It's just unbelievable. It's just, So, yeah.
I know you spoke about the performance yesterday on Views. Has your opinion changed now that?
Yeah, I was a bit harsh on Harry Maguire. No, he's going through a bad time at the minute.
At the minute?
Yeah, well, all season. For the first 2 years, we didn't really see this kind of Harry Maguire. Really. And now in the last year, it just seems to be every week something. It could clearly be prevented, that goal. All he's got to do is look to his right-hand side and know the kid's offside. So it's frustrating, but you just got to stick by him as a fan. He's still a Manchester United player. So getting on his back and abusing him and all that kind of stuff, it's just not going to help. So, but he needs to change it quick. He's Manchester United captain, so he needs to man up and change it quick. And I'm sure he will. But the price tag doesn't help for him. He's not an £80 million player. It's not his fault.
No, not at all. Not at all. But the thing is, you can't coach speed in players, can you? And that's what he lacks big time.
And people are targeting it now, especially when you want to play that high line. Just put it in the space. You can see it. He panics like yesterday. He panicked, or not yesterday, Saturday. Panicked, stretching, and you're not in control, and you're not in control of anything. And that's what the outcome is, an own goal. Which could easily been prevented. So, yeah, it's frustrating.
So how do you solve the problem then? How do you
take him out? You take him out. You have a chat to him. You take him out, or not even take. I don't think you can take the captaincy off in mid-season either. You probably just try and get through the season and chat to him and say, is this a problem for you? Is it a burden? Do you just want to concentrate on your football? He might say yeah. He might say no. Then he might take it out of his hands by just saying, I don't know. But he needs a rest at the minute. You've got players there that can play at the minute. But he's your captain. I understand you don't want to drop him because he's your captain. He's an £80 million player, and you hope he plays through it. But, he's just lucky enough. Ronaldo got that third goal because, people kind of forgotten about it. But, if he didn't get that third goal, He'd be getting more abuse, so just needs to shape up.
Do you know what? I think Ronaldo's hat-trick covered a lot of cracks. If you look at the penalty that was conceded, what is the left-back doing with his arms out?
No, big shout out to Fred as well. I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
He's been getting some stick as well, but in that forward role, very good. Varane makes a difference. People saying, "Oh, Varane's not done well." He's been injured, so when he has played, we've not really conceded more than one goal apart from Saturday. That's the first time we've conceded more than one goal when Varane's played. So yeah, he's experienced. He's done it. He's been there. He's done it. You just need someone next to him. Centre half is a partnership. We know this. Bruce Pallister, Vidic, Ferdinand, Stam Johnson. It's a partnership. Laporte, Stones at the minute. Van Dijk, Matip. They have partnerships, and when the partnerships work, it's very difficult to play against. And at the minute, you've got individuals playing instead of being a pair. So it's just getting that right balance.
All right, we'll talk about balance. Good segue to my next question about Spurs and Conte. He's hell-bent on having three at the back, but yet he's constantly changed defensive lineups. He went four at the weekend. It's almost as if he doesn't know what to do with the players that he's got. Now, is it the same situation with United in the sense that United have got Lindelof, Jones, Bailly? Who's the best out of the bad bunch? With Spurs, you've got Dyer, Sanchez. Now that Ben Davies is playing as effectively a third central defender, okay, Romero is probably their best central defender. But you look at Conte's defensive options, and he's probably thinking, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, it's difficult. That he's probably searching for that pair as well. Dyer, what's he doing for that first goal? Why is he standing off him? That's not a centre half for me. You think Vidic, Ferdinand, Bruce Pallister would be standing off him like that, or John Terry? They don't stand off him like that. You go and close the ball down. Same with out wide. You don't let him cross it, especially when you've got a player like Cristiano Ronaldo in front of you. You've just gone more or less go on, shoot. And he's put it in the top corner. If I was that keeper, I'd be going sick. So you just can't let that happen.
All right. What about Tottenham's attacking threat then? Harry Kane, we know at the beginning of the season, had a few iffy moments. So put it that way. Didn't score for a while. Son hasn't seemed to kicked on this season. I don't know what to say about the signings from January that they brought in from Juventus, because they're hot and cold at the moment. Kulusevski had a good game against Leeds, had a good game at City, but then Burnley, same with Bentancur, did well in the bigger ones, but they didn't show up at the weekend, did they?
Who's that, sorry?
Kulusevski and Bentancur, the two signings from Juve.
No, and some seem to be off it as well. You know,
I think he was wearing molds, you know. I don't think he was wearing studs.
He seems to be falling over every time the ball. You can't be wearing molds on there, because United drench the pitch. If it's not raining, they put them sprinklers on and they make sure it's wet because it's nice and zippy. It's always been like that. So yeah, to wearing studs was stupid. So it looked like it, because every time the ball comes to him, he was falling over. There was a ball that come into him. Yes, he was a bit behind him, but you still expect him to hit the target. Maybe they're a bit leggy, you know, travelling to Burnley, travelling to Manchester City, then travelling to Burnley in the same week, then playing Everton, then travelling all the way to Manchester. So it might be a bit leggy as well. They haven't got a massive squad. So you might be seeing that some of them are a bit leggy.
I think they had a trip to Middlesbrough as well, sandwiched in between the Everton and the City.
There you go. Yeah, we did. Yeah, they did. Yeah, trip to Middlesbrough. That went to extra time.
Yep.
So but it's travelling as well. We've talked about it before. It just everyone's travelled. When you've done a long day travelling, it just wipes you out.
Yeah. All right. What about the Arsenal then? They're in contention for top four. They've got 3 games in hand now. I think I'm not going to say it's done and dusted, because you need the points. Obviously, you can't look at the fixture list and say, "Oh, right, we've got 3 games in hand and we can win them." You never know; complacency might creep in. But a team that at the beginning of the season, we said it on Shoot the Defence, that without European football, and if they back the manager and get rid of the bad eggs, this Arsenal team are going to kick on. And here we are.
No, they seem to be on a roll at the minute. That's why it's going to be a good game Wednesday against Liverpool, because they're 2 teams playing well. And, you know, what he's doing over there in Barcelona is good, but it was the best decision he's made to get rid of that Aubameyang. Get him out of the club. Show the young lads you know, what they expect, and if this kind of stuff happens, then you're out the door. So, yeah, good young players coming through, and they're just lacking in strength. But Saka's playing well. Smith Rowe,
Odegaard's been fantastic.
Yeah. Tierney looks in every time I see him now. He seems to be playing well. So yeah, they look well at the minute. Lacazette's chipping in with a few goals.
But this is a captain's duty, and he's really taken that armband and made it his own. Obviously, Aubameyang was the captain. I think Xhaka was the vice captain, wasn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And Lacazette second, and he's out of contract as well in the summer. So it's not as if he's down tools. He's just gone with it.
That's what you expect from a proper pro, and not a clown like Aubameyang. So you've been given the privilege to captain a club like Arsenal, and you treat it like crap. So yeah, it's I've always liked Lacazette. He should have played more for me. He's been on the bench far too much, but he's got a goal in him. He's honest. He works hard, and he seems to be a good lad. And people look up to him in the dressing room, which is always a plus.
Well, they got rid of Ozil first, then it was Guendouzi, then it was Kolasinac, then it was Aubameyang. You're talking about 4 definite bad eggs, in my opinion. I don't know how much Socrates had in terms of his influence, but apparently he was a bit of a talker. I'm not too sure about that. But they've brought in players that are hungry, like your Whites, like your Tomiyasu's, and the other Martinelli's been fantastic. I'm not buying the comparisons with R9. I'm sorry. This thing on Twitter needs to stop. Looking at his statistics. Yeah, if you look, I'll send you one of those images that some Arsenal fan did a while back. They did statistical comparisons between Martinelli at 18 and R9 at 18. And Martinelli had better goal. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, they need to calm a little bit. He's a good player, but you ain't at that level. No, I'm sorry. Ronaldo won a World Cup at 16.
He's doing well. I'm not having him for England England's best goalkeeper, but
I'd pick him ahead of Pickford. I'd put him ahead of Pickford, though.
Pickford for England is a totally different keeper. What I see for Everton.
Maguire's a totally different player for England.
Yeah, I don't know. But I like Pope for Burnley. Ramsdale for me. He seems to be like what's the word? Just a keeper for the cameras.
Like Joe Hart used to be.
Not as much. No, not Joe Hart was a talker. Always be stick a microphone. It's Joe Hart. No, no. Maybe he's just getting into the. Maybe I'm just too old now, but he seems to be just too much messing about, screaming and shouting and all that business. But
yeah, but to be honest, Rod, if you remember, Paul Robinson, remember when he was in goal for England? He was like that. Joe Hart, he was like that. Rob Green, not so much. But Pickford, he's another one. I remember talking to, who was it? I think Semps, actually. We had him on the pod a couple of years ago. And I was saying that a lot of these England goalkeepers, it's almost as if they drink about 15 cans of Red Bull before every game. And they just play techno music to hype themselves up. And they get too hyped up. And I was saying to him, I think that there's something not right with Pickford up there. Not in a bad way. And then lo and behold, during the England-Denmark game at the Euros, I remember Sam Matterface saying that Pickford was actually seeing a therapist to calm him down because he was constantly winding himself up before games. And that's Ramsdale. Ramsdale's doing that now.
Yeah, you want your keeper to be a bit chilled, not hyper. So, listen, he's doing well at the minute, and he's come for a big price tag for a keeper, 30-odd million. But good luck to him. Like I say, he's doing well at the minute. It's just a keeper, just not for my taste. Keepers anyway, they're mad, aren't they? They're always mad. Goalkeepers union, all of them are crazy.
Yeah. So just touching on this game quickly against Leicester, which Arsenal won 2-0. What was Soyuncu doing for the handball? He's got this fuck up in him, hasn't he? He does it every season. There's always like one or two big mistakes in him.
Yeah, you just got to... And you know it as a player as well. You put pressure on a certain player, put pressure on a certain keeper. They'll give you a goal, and that's what gets talked about in the change rooms before that. So, pretty sure they'll see that again, and they'll identify it, and they'll keep targeting it, putting pressure on him, and it'll keep on happening until he addresses it.
So Arsenal, your pick for top four, then, yeah?
Yeah. I think we've got to beat them. Then we've got to play Chelsea as well. Then they've got to play Liverpool. So there's 9 points there.
Were you talking about United's fixtures?
No, Arsenal. Arsenal have got to play us. They've got to play Liverpool. They've got to play Chelsea. So there's 3 games that they could possibly lose.
Yeah, they've got Liverpool, then Villa, Palace, Brighton, Southampton, and then Man United.
The only thing is, I don't see us winning all our games. We've got to play Chelsea. We've got to play Liverpool. So
Arsenal's last 3 games are Leeds, Newcastle, and Everton. And the way that things are right now, I can't see Everton getting anything out of it unless that's a must-win game to stay up.
Yeah, and it could be that could be that could be the game that go down top 4. So that's the one that everyone will be watching. Remember back in the day in the 90s where Everton were in that relegation and it kept on cutting to grounds and Everton stayed up on the last day.
Yeah.
Remember?
Was it John? It wasn't John Ebrell, was it? Was it John? No. Who was it?
Was it the guy? Was it Mike Walker? No, it was from Oldham, the guy from Oldham.
Oh, Joe Royle.
Joe Royle, yeah.
Joe Royle. Jeez. That's taking it back, isn't it?
Was it Joe? Yeah, I think it was Joe Royle. Yeah, it was
Joe
Royle.
Royle. Yeah. Joe Royle. Tony Cotty was in that team. Graham Stewart. Oh yeah, Roy. Michael. Yeah.
Graham Stewart. Yeah.
Graham Stewart. So yeah, fucking hell, man, Jesus.
And we've talked about this. We talked about this before. Everton's fixtures. The next fixture they've got West Ham, United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Leicester again.
They've got Palace, Watford.
They're the ones
Brentford.
that need. They're the 3 games that they'll probably identify: Watford, Burnley, and Brentford. And they've got Palace. Palace is not a gimme though. Palace are doing well this season.
But well, yeah, this is it. Shall I talk about Everton then?
Yeah. Well,
talk about Everton. You know, their performance at the weekend, defensively terrible. Midfield, there was no running, there was no tracking. Listen, people are going to get on my back for this one, but Van der Beek, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I've never understood the hype, and now he's been given games. He's not turning up. Richarlison, God bless him, he's trying his best, but without him, they'd be finished already, wouldn't they?
Yeah, Dele Alli, what's happened to him?
Boohoo men, mate. Boohoo men.
This is why I'm saying to him, people say, "Oh, who turns up to a first job in a 400 grand motor and then performs like he does?" Maybe I'm just old, but it's just what is going on. He was on England's probably best number 10 like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and now he can't even get in an Everton side. So they've got massive problems because, we've seen at the minute court documents today in Chester Court that Dominic Calvert-Lewin was in court. So God knows what that was for. So, there's issues there. You've got a manager. Yes, he's a good manager, but he's never even tasted a relegation fight. So, he's going to be second questioning himself because he's in an unknown territory.
The thing is, after the Spurs game, when they lost 5-0, he was saying, "Oh, I'm confident. I've got faith in this team." But when you look at the players at full time, a couple of them fell to their knees. It's almost as if they knew that was it. You can tell when players have given the ghost.
Same with the players; they'll be in unknown territory as well. So they'll be thinking, you've got to roll your sleeves up. It's not easy. Done it once when I went to Bangor City. They were in a relegation fight, and you just got to roll your sleeves up. And it's a fight every single week. You've just got to be prepared for it. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be pretty. You've just got to fight and work for it. And you can't have any passengers at all.
To their credit, they had a few half chances against Wolves, and Saab made a few decent saves. But if you're expecting to stay up with just Richarlison up front on his own, and you're expecting, Andros Townsend to come off the bench, or as you mentioned, Dele Alli, who hasn't been in form for like 2 years, Van der Beek, who doesn't even know where he is at the moment. All right, I get the club have had issues off the field. We had Sigurdsson, we don't know what's going on with him. You got Calvert-Lewin now. We don't know how long this has been going on for. We don't know if they've been hiding his injury, this thing, and saying that it's an injury because he was ill at the weekend. But finding out now that he's been in court today, this could be another cover-up. They got the problem with, what's his name, Usmanov. I think his assets were frozen. Hasn't he got some kind of stake in the club, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, sponsorships as well and all that kind of stuff.
And listen, no disrespect, right? I know the issues with what's going on at the moment in Ukraine. Why are you playing your Ukrainian left back and giving him the captain's armband when you're in a relegation dogfight? When it's such a emotional, such a stressful time for the guy. Listen, he's a professional. I get it, and he probably does want to be playing. But I don't know, man. Something like this, you just got to say, "Listen, just stay at home. Don't play. Don't play."
That's what I mean about being in unknown territories. You make decisions that you wouldn't normally make because you're under pressure. So this is what I mean by not being. Yes, he's experienced, but he's not experienced this type of football. Never been nowhere near it. So it's going to be difficult. And like I say, the fixtures they've got, not going to be easy. Like I say, West Ham, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, Leicester, twice. They're all very, very good teams. And when you're struggling to even get a win, when your last win was, weeks ago, and teams like Watford are picking up wins every now and again. You expect Burnley to pick a win up every now and again. There's only Norwich really seem to be, struggling. So yeah, it's going to be a struggle for him.
So you think
I fully expect Everton to go down.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
And that'd be a shame, that, because they've been in there a long time. They've spent a lot of money, and they're a good bunch, the Everton fans. So, but yeah, they've been. It's like up and down for them, up and down. The guys come in, they're spending money, and then this is what happens. And they've had some top managers come through there: Koeman, Benitez, Ancelotti. The kid at Fulham, he was there, wasn't he?
Marcus Silva, is that what you're talking about?
Was he there?
Yeah, I think he was there. Yeah,
he was there for a little bit, wasn't he?
No.
Now
Martinez.
Martinez. Now it's Frank Lampard. Some teams it works out for, but not for a team like Everton, who can't buy the way out of it. Yes, they've got a bit of money, but they haven't got the coffers to buy themselves out of it, like a Chelsea or United can, or City.
Well, they've had years of regression, and no matter how much money they've pumped into the club, they just can't seem to get it right. And mate, if you look at the signings that they've made, let's have a look. Ben Godfrey, he hasn't been great. Doucouré's been all right, but Demarai Gray, I think it was a decent signing. But then you look at Michael Keane, you look at Andre Gomez,
Signesson, 50 million weight, 50 million gone.
They brought in El Ghazi on loan from Aston Villa. He's hardly played a game, even though he's probably the most experienced when it comes to fighting at the bottom, because he was there with Villa.
That's one probably just to make up the numbers, that just in case they need him. But now you do need him, and you haven't got the confidence enough to play him.
Yeah.
So you need players that are gonna. He doesn't seem to me a player who's gonna roll his sleeves up and get stuck in. And that's what they need at the minute. He needs to be playing players that really, really care and really, not afraid of getting stuck in. Because it's a battle. Every game now, from now to the end of the season, is a battle. And they probably need 5-6 wins. No. Say what they're on now. 22 points, 23 points. So
let's have a look. Premier League table. Let's get that one up. 2 seconds. Hang about. I don't know if I can share the screen. Give me 2 seconds, Rob. Let me see if I can share the screen. I'm sure I can. Hang about, so that everyone can see. Just so that.
22. So
there we go. So yeah, they've got 22.
Yeah, 22, and they've got 12 left. And like I say, 8 of them are top 6 sides.
Well, they have 3 in hand over Watford. Yeah. But given the way they're playing at the moment, you can't see them getting anything out of it.
Well, no, it's no. Yeah, just look at the performance record. The performance record. They've lost the last 4. Norwich, Burnley have picked up a win. Watford have picked up a win. Yes, Everton have picked up a win, but it was like 4 weeks ago. Yeah, Leeds United have just picked up a win, which is out there massively. Brentford, I don't see them being in it at all. Newcastle out of it because they've got the genius Eddie Howe. So, Graham Potter, he's falling, isn't he? Graham Potter falling like a stone.
Leave him alone.
Man United bound.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. He hasn't had a war chest. He's done well to keep them where they are, mate. Yeah. He's done. Listen, where would you rather be right now, Brighton or Everton? With the money that Everton have thrown at the club?
I'd rather be at Newcastle. Cha-ching!
Jesus Christ. Watford beat Southampton, and
I would never want to be anywhere near Everton. Sorry, mate. No one near Everton because it's in Liverpool.
No comment. I'm not going to respond to that. Fuck's sake. But Watford got a good result against Southampton. It looks like Southampton are on the beach at the moment, man. Especially with the goals they concede. You see the first one?
Well, they're up and down, aren't they? They're brilliant one week, and then next week they're getting beat off Norwich, or who is it this week? Watford, yeah. So they beat a top side, and they go to so it's probably concentration and just professionalism, applying yourself correctly. Because if you can play against the big sides, then why are you not turning these sides over. It's just application. That's all that is.
Well, Watford are taking 4 points off of United. They look.
That was the worst
they're-
game. That was the one that sent it, wasn't it? Yeah. Because we watched it and we was like, "This is bad." It was bad, wasn't it? So yeah, that was a bad day. That, but the one at home, we should be beating them at home. It was terrible.
Burnley have got 2 games in hand over Watford, and they're only a point behind. Now, I know yesterday was all doom and gloom from Dan, the Burnley fan, but if any club is equipped to get out of this battle, it's them, isn't it?
And they've got the manager, they've got the experience in the players, all experienced, sprinkle of youth, McNeil and a couple of others. Yeah, I just see them, getting 3 or 4 wins out of 11 games. You can see it. Get them. Mind you, they've only won 3 games all season. They're the less won the less games of everyone, but they've drawn 12. So
they can dig out points. They can dig them out, but they're just not winning the games.
Yeah, but
I think that's the difference, though.
Yeah, 2 of they've drawn 12. Watford have drawn 4. Everton have drawn 4. Norwich have drawn 5. Burnley have drawn 12. So 2 or 3 of them, and put them at a win, and that puts them, 16th, 15th. So I can see that they're not getting blown away. They're always in the game. This is why I think, they'll get out of it. Plus the experience. So, but it's between Everton and Burnley, isn't it? Who goes?
I think with Burnley, because they've won so little amount of games this season, they're due a purple patch. They're due a good run of form. And I think if that comes at the tail end of the season, that's when it's going to pick up for them. I mean, look, don't forget, they've got Ben Mee out of contract at the end of the season, Tarkowski. So these players don't want to be playing championship, right? And if they can save them and keep them up, they'll probably get another year or 2-year extension. And Mee's like 32 years old anyway, isn't he? So I don't know how long he's got in the Premier League.
So Burnley have got Brentford. They played Brentford. Just played Brentford, haven't they? So they played Brentford. Yeah. That's how the way they've been beat. They've got City next.
Mm-hmm.
And they've got Norwich, West Ham, Wolves, Watford, Villa, Tottenham, Newcastle, Tottenham, Southampton and Everton. No, really big. Only City with a big side. That's the only side they've got to play is City. The big side, really. And maybe Tottenham.
You say Southampton. They've got Southampton at home, haven't they?
They've got Southampton. So Burnley have got to play 2 of the big teams. Everton have got to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've got to play United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester. This is all in a row, game after game as well, by the way. United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Leicester, Brentford in between, and Arsenal, Leicester again. That's a difficult run in that.
Yep.
Especially when you lack of confidence, you're not getting a win. These teams need to win as well. They're up against it. That's the only reason why I say Everton are going to go down. Because they've got to play 6, 7 of the top sides in their 12 remaining games, where Burnley have got to play 1, 2.
Yeah, true. Well, the thing is, Burnley they've got to play City, as you mentioned, and City are fighting for the title. So, we're safe to assume that City are going to go.
I see them winning that. Seen them winning.
But then, so it wouldn't surprise me if Dyche plays a weakened team so that they're ready for Norwich, which is the next game after that. That's the 6-pointer. They win that. If they do win that, they go away to West Ham 6 days later. Then they got Wolves at home, which, it's not going to be an easy game. And but we saw Wolves struggle against Everton. Then they got Watford, which again is another 6-pointer. Then Villa, who they're safe. They're not going to go down. I don't really think that's going to be a testing game in the sense of like the intensity and everything like that. Granted, Gerrard's going to want to win that one, but with 2 games to go, I don't know. Then it's Spurs away from home, which is going to be a tricky one. Don't get me wrong, but then again, Spurs are Spurs. You don't know. They're like I don't know. Jack in the box really, and then Newcastle will be safe. So I don't know. I still think Burnley have got a purple patch in them. In all fairness,
Leeds have got Leeds have got to play Chelsea, City. The Leeds haven't got to play. It's literally Everton have got to play all the big sides, and Leicester twice.
Yeah. But Leeds are playing well, man. Leeds. I tell you what, Leeds did very well against.
They're getting
Leicester.
better now, aren't they?
Yeah,
getting better.
They did well against Leicester. All right, they got smashed against Villa, but they played a very good game against Norwich. And okay, their defensive frailty showed again. But the fact that they still battled on in injury time and they got a winner, they're playing very aggressively, and they changed their system about 4 times.
Well, he's still searching. He's still searching and still working with him, and so he's just obviously trying to find the right blend and what he wants to go with. If he's changed it that many times in a game, but they got the result, so he's obviously seen something and it's changed and it's worked. So I see them getting better as well because they're not a bad side and they're all mobile. It seems to be a good side. Leeds once they've got the tail behind them.
Half time at Selhurst Park, 0-0. City huffing and puffing, but they ain't blowing that door off, mate.
No, half time. It's what I mean. It's frustrating that we've got 45 minutes left. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, listen, one more thing before we wrap it up. Chelsea, we can't not talk about Chelsea, and we know what's happened with them recently, but just to recap, Roman Abramovich has had all his assets frozen, and Chelsea have to sell, and apparently it's the end of the world for Chelsea. They can't spend more than 20 grand on match day, all that kind of stuff. They can't sell shirts, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people saying that's the end of Chelsea. This is just my honest opinion, Rod. I honestly believe, I think the sanctions are lifted at the end of May. And by that time, I think they'll have an American owner. Or there's talks of a Saudi owner now, but I'm pretty sure they'll have a new owner by that time. And all this hoo-ha about the club going down into administration, whatever, is going to be all bullshit.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I expect it to be sold way before May. I expect it to be sold in the next month. They just want to get it out of the way. The better they do it, the more money that coffers that go over to Ukraine as well, which will benefit obviously people over there. So, the quicker it's done, the better for all parties. Because the last thing the government want is a club like Chelsea going, in trouble
because of them.
Yeah, because of them, and I don't see that happening. Because, like I said before, there'll be a lot of MPs, a lot of influential people who are Chelsea fans as well. So, I see it happening pretty quickly. I've seen first pictures of Roman Abramovich today. He was in the airport of Tel Aviv, in Israel, going to Turkey. So
safe haven.
Yeah, so these have got problems, and then even then they questioned: did he get on the plane? Is he stayed in Tel Aviv? So these just want it out of the way and get it sorted pretty quickly, or
The thing is, mate, people like him, these billionaires. All right, he's lost a couple billion from the club, right, and that's going to hurt him a little bit. But let's be real: how much money has he got tied up in assets all over the world, and in places where there can't be any sanctions or out of EU rule, whatever? Do you know what I mean? This isn't going to hurt him as much as people think, honestly. And
but when you're an oligarch and you're a billionaire and you do what you want, travel where you want, stay where you want, and now you can't do them things, it's going to hurt and it's going to affect you.
He hasn't been in England. He hasn't been in England for a couple of years. Didn't they take his visa away or some shit? So but he's limited to certain places now where he can go. He didn't look too happy. He looks pretty dishevelled when the pictures that I seen in the video that I seen. Full on grey beard. So they're not having it easy, and rightly so, because they're all connected to him. So the quicker this gets resolved, the better for everyone. And do I feel sorry for Chelsea fans? No, not really. I don't. It swings and roundabouts. Like I don't feel sorry for United fans. What problems we're having at the minute. It goes in cycles.
They've had a good run. No, I don't want them to go under, but I don't want to suffer either, because it's the normal Chelsea fan that is going to suffer, which is wrong. No, I see him getting out of it pretty soon, but feeling sorry for him.
And do you know, mate, when you go on social media and you see the responses or the tweets with regards to the Chelsea situation, there's always this like one-upmanship, this almost like as if it's passing the buck, or, oh, well, you can't talk because of your club. Like, for example, at the weekend, it was Chelsea against Newcastle, and they called it the sports washing derby. And Eddie Howe was asked about the 81 deaths in Yemen.
What is he supposed to say there?
Well, yeah, exactly. What the guy's probably never even been to Yemen. Like, he probably can't even find it on the map. What are you asking these questions for?
It's a problem when it's this bombing's going over there. We don't hear about it. It's been going on for weeks now. You never hear about this because certain media don't want to put it out. So, but yeah, it's
but
just
you see a Newcastle or Chelsea fans saying to Newcastle fans, well, Saudi Arabia, yada yada yada, and then you got Chelsea fans. You got Newcastle fans talking about Chelsea and Abramovich, and I know Chelsea had the big banner of Abramovich, which I think was a bit silly, to be honest. Just leave it out. I know that you respect him for what he's done for your club, but to have that banner up, I think that's bad taste. But anyway, it is what it is. It is what it is.
And it's a small group as well, and you just become labelled, a bad team, and it's not the press you kind of need. It's just not. There's a war going on. Kids, babies, women, men are dying on the daily, and you're singing someone's name. Just stop.
Yeah, but then you look at the other clubs, and I saw a really good tweet today. Someone pulled up some newspaper articles, and one of them was, well, the Glazers funded part of Donald Trump's campaign, as did FSG, as did Kroenke at Arsenal, and then you got a video coming out about Man City's owners, with the shit that's been happening in the Middle East, and you're thinking, Jesus Christ, like, I'm not trying to be funny, but you tell me one club president or owner or chairman that hasn't done something deplorable in their time. You tell me one person that's done everything by the book. You think Bill Gates has done things by the book in his life for Microsoft? You think Bezos has done things by the book at Amazon? Come on, man. This is the life that we live in, man. This is the world that we live in. I'm not condoning it. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm just saying it happens. And no matter how much you point the finger, no matter how much you point the finger at people, look at Carragher. Did you see his comments earlier on Sky Sports about Chelsea?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, Jamie, come on, man. Like, you threw a coin at a fan and you spat at someone in the street. Like, come on. Don't talk about morals. Come on, being serious here, man.
People like him just probably forgot that even happened. So, but you can't keep on. But then again, for him, you can't keep on reliving. He's made a mistake. What do you want me to do?
Wasn't he wearing a Luis Suarez t-shirt after he racially abused Patrice Evra?
Yeah, like I say, people forget about what they've done in the past and what. That was nothing to do with me. I just did it because the team did it. Bollocks. You're a man. If you don't want to wear it, don't wear it. It's like all this stuff. I want to play charity football, and they're all kneeling. I'm not kneeling for no one. I understand what you're doing, but I'm just not going into it. I'm not kneeling for anyone. So, it's just whatever you want to do. You just got to be brave enough to stand up and do what's right for you. But obviously, he was under pressure and he went with it. He was wrong, and he's got to own it.
So, what does this mean for Chelsea for the rest of the season, mate? They got a good win against Newcastle. Havertz's goal was absolutely brilliant as well. They look like they're going to be nailed on for top four. I can't see them dropping out of it. Champions League, you think they're going to give it a good run?
United?
No, Chelsea.
Yes, I still see him doing pretty well. It's a fantastic goal. Havertz, I see big problems with Lukaku. 90 million quid on the bench. That's not good. But yeah, I like Tuchel. They're in one of them. sticky situations now, aren't they? They're not as good as Liverpool and City, but they're much better than Tottenham, Arsenal, United at the minute. So they're in the middle, aren't they? But they're on their own. So, yeah.
All right, one more thing before I wrap it up. What did you make of Messi and Neymar getting booed?
I told you, didn't I? I tweeted, I messaged you. Remember, what's that about? Well, I was watching it and I turned it over. And I'm watching it. I'm thinking, wait a minute, why are they booing their fans? And then I realised they're at home as well. I think, what's that about? And then obviously I thought they were 2-0 up in the weekend, weren't they? But surely you've got, if you're 2-0 up and if the Real Madrid get one goal, you have to take one or at least two of them off. You have to, because you just got 3 passengers against 10. So you're playing 7 against 10. It's just, you just can't do it. So that's why Pochettino, if he's not brave enough, well, you've got to take 2 of them off. Take both of them off. Instead of just taking one, you take 2 of them off. So why don't you take him off? Right, to take both of them off and just shore it up a bit. Instead, instead it was, Real Madrid were on the ascendant, playing well. And have you been in the Bernabeu? When it gets lively in there, and they've got the sails behind them, it's a cauldron, it's noisy, and Benzema was on it.
So, as for PSG, mate, they signed Messi effectively to win the Champions League. They could have done with Sergio Ramos. I don't know what's happening with him. Is he injured? Is he? I don't know what's going on. But that club is a fucking joke, man. Honestly, it's a fucking joke.
Could you imagine if Cristiano Ronaldo had only scored 2 goals for Manchester United? We're complaining about him, he scored, or people are complaining about him. He scored 18, 19 goals. This little fucking Dago has scored 2 goals. And walking about. No. He's just lazy. He's no way is he a better player than Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm not having it. That Barcelona team was unbelievable that he was in. The best team I've ever seen. No way is he no way. I'm not having it. And Cristiano Ronaldo at the same age, he's done it in different leagues, gone on different teams, he's always been the same. He's gone there, he's scoring 2 goals. Where's that gone? Scoring 30, 40 goals last season. He's gone to a chip shop league and he scored 2 goals.
Yeah, okay, so do you blame the player? Do you blame the system? Is there anything that you can see where it's going wrong? Is he not got the legs anymore?
Just a lazy little fucker. And his heart's not in it like it was with Barcelona. And he's just gone there for I wouldn't surprise if Pardon?
He got his trophy with the Argentinian national team, and that's it.
It's damaging. It's damaging his legacy, though, mate. Because he shouldn't be scoring only 2 goals in that French league. Come on, and you see him walking about. He just walks about. What he walks about, and it's just I don't care who he is. If you're on your football team, you work for your teammates, and he just walks. Doesn't do anything. He's just a passenger.
Luka Modric,
fucking 500 grand a week passenger. Mm-hmm. Could you imagine if Ronaldo only scored 2 goals? I'm being serious. Can you imagine?
No, you're right. You're right. No, you are 100% right. I mean, he went
under the radar. It's going under the radar. Absolutely,
he went 6 or 7 games without a goal, and he's in a slump, and he's finished, and he's a problem. And this lad,
forget about it. Yeah, it's just night and day. But for me, Ronaldo all day. Skillful wise, natural ability, Messi, no doubt. But if you're asking who would rather have in my team, Ronaldo every day of the week.
Let's end it there. Rhodri, thanks for jumping on, mate. Appreciate it.
No problem.
And we'll do this again on No Chofters probably next month, but we'll keep doing shoot defense every week, obviously. But
yeah,
we'll give the people in Cyprus something a little bit different than what they used to. But yeah, so that's it for the edition. Like, subscribe, tell your NOUNA. Rod, do you want to tell them your Twitter, Instagram, all that kind of stuff?
Twitter is at Rod James Giggs. Podcast Ace Podcast Nation Thursday nights 7:30. And on my profile, it's got yellow and blue flags. It's not APOL. That's just Ukraine flags. So don't be deterred by the yellow and blue. Even though they're flying at the minute, APOL flying. But we won't go into that, will we, Stel? We'll save that for another day.
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking, okay? Because when I saw
Malacca this, Malacca that,
no,
Pena this.
No. When I saw Apoel and Apollon and Anofsy play yesterday, I'm thinking, do you guys want to throw away the title? Do you guys want to throw it? Because Apollon last season were neck and neck with us for the title, and they blew it with 2 games to go. They're neck and neck with Apoel, and before yesterday what day was it yesterday? Sunday, wasn't it? So Saturday they were 7 points clear. Now they're 5 points clear, and they still got to play Apoel twice. I don't even want to think about them cunts winning the league, honestly. If
they want the team to perform, they need to keep paying them wages, or
Well, Apollon are paying their wages. Apoel's players are allegedly not getting paid.
That's why you probably get a dip at the end of the season. And
well, let's see. Fingers crossed they chuck it in. But anyway, whatever. I don't want to talk about them cunts. Anyway, that's it. Go back now. We'll be back very soon. Bum